As the Israel-Hamas war continues to rage, tens of thousands of people are expected in Washington today for the March for Israel rally. The march's organizers say they expect about 100,000 people to attend the rally to show solidarity with Israel and to bring awareness to the rise of anti-Semitism across the world. Today's rally comes as thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters marched at the Capitol 2 weeks ago to demand a ceasefire in the war. Joining us now from O'Hare International Airport in Chicago is NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa. Maggie's been talking with synagogue groups from Chicago who are heading to D.C. from O'Hare for today's rally. Maggie, good morning.
Hey, Willie, good morning. Yeah, that's kind of a drop in the bucket as far as the mass migration that is taking place literally coast to coast today. As you said, up to 100,000 people expected in D.C. coming from across the country. I mean, we're here specifically in Terminal 3 of the O'Hare Airport because we're waiting on a local rabbi along with several members, adults from his congregation and high school seniors who want to travel, are traveling to D.C. later today to show, and this is the message that we've heard from sort of communities, Jewish communities and congregations across the area that we've talked to, that they want to show that they will not be cowed, they will not be scared, they will not be silenced by the rise in anti-Semitism across the country. And our team, our network, has been sort of touching base with those communities, again, across the country. In Columbus, Ohio, for example, our local affiliate there reporting 2 busloads of students from Ohio State University are traveling to D.C. early this morning. Similar stories out of Raleigh, up and down the East Coast. And then we have a lot of flights coming in from the Midwest and the West Coast. Specifically, according to the Jewish United Fund, who, by the way, is subsidizing, a.k.a. paying for a lot of these trips for Jewish Americans across the country, we have close to 1,000 people from the Chicago area alone who are planning to travel to D.C. About half of those, we're told, are adults and leaders specifically within the community. And then we're also told hundreds of them, to kind of reiterate that earlier point, are students, a lot of high school students, a lot of college students. And as you know, we've covered the rise in anti-Semitism specifically on college campuses across the country. So a lot of these people, the majority that we've talked to, see today's march at the U.S. Capitol as the chance to kind of deliver that mass message that, again, they will not be cowed and they will not hide amid that very jarring and terrifying rise, of course, of anti-Semitism across the U.S. So promises to be a huge showing. We're going to speak to some of those who are getting ready to board these flights to D.C. later on this morning, guys.
People coming from across the country, including right there in Chicago. NBC News correspondent Maggie Vespa. Maggie, thank you as well. And guys, we'll be joined tomorrow by Jonathan Greenblatt, head of the ADL, who has organized what is shaping up to be a massive rally today in Washington.
Well, it's so important for that message to be sent across America, across the world. And Willie, I will say, was really heartened this morning in the New York Times reading about a march in Paris. 100,000 people marching in Paris, a place that is fraught with anti-Semitism. In many cases, coming from Islamic radicals. That's in France more so than in the United States, where you have the extreme left and the extreme right showing signs of anti-Semitism and pressuring Jews in America, whether they be on college campuses or just trying to live in communities. Or you look in Detroit and the head of a synagogue brutally stabbed to death after the October 7th attacks. But the people of Paris stood up, 100,000 of them, and protested against anti-Semitism in France. That is so important when we see one European country after another European country forget the lessons of the Holocaust.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've seen it, so much ugliness in the last month or so in terms of anti-Semitism just out in the open in the streets right here in New York, on college campuses and European capitals as well. So we will see, though, a show we hope will be a massive and peaceful display today in Washington.